evening, everybody. Good to see you all here. Nice crowd for our first concert. Thank you for being with us. Would you please stand for our national anthem? Once again, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just a couple of things before we actually start. I don't know if you know this or not, but we are actually entering our 80th year in existence as the Ulm Municipal Band. So, throughout our season this year, you'll find out some special things that we are doing. Actually, you'll hear a little bit tidbit tonight of what's going to be happening in this next year and culminating with our concert season next year. So our first number tonight is John Philip Sousa's The Thunder. It was written in 1889, and although the origin of the name is not officially known, it's speculated that it gets its name from the drums and bugles at the time. It's also one of his most famous, and it's labeled as one of his first distinctly American-sounding marches. So from 1889, here's The Thunder. Siegfried Rundle was born in 1940 in Ulm, Germany, and at an early age he learned how to play trombone, and he tried his first compositions and arrangements as a teenager. He founded his own publishing company in 1964, and he was a big advocate of town bands. He believed in town bands and to make his music that he composed playable for all the town bands. So this one is called In Harmony Vereint. Carl King was born in 1891 in Paintersville, Ohio, and when he was 19 years old, he joined the circus and roamed around the country. Decided he didn't really care for that too much, and he came back. He moved to Fort Dodge, Iowa in 1920, conducted the municipal band there until about 1972. In all, he wrote about 290 different works. This one is from 1942. He wrote it for the pilots, in honor of the pilots in World War II. This is called Aces of the Air. Robert Reiniger Meredith Wilson. As most of you know, Meredith Wilson, he was an American flutist, composer, conductor, musical arranger, band leader, playwright, and writer. He's most known for his 1957 Broadway musical The Music Man, and also it's a beginning to look a lot like Christmas that he wrote in 1951. As a child, Wilson played the bass drum for a Salvation Army band. He became a flute and piccolo virtuoso, accomplished enough to become a member of John Philip Sousa's band from 1921 until 1924, and later the New York Philharmonic Orchestra from 1924 to 1929. After that, he moved to the West Coast, got involved in films and in radio and things like that. And then in 1949, he started on The Music Man, and it didn't debut until 1957. Actually, it took him over 8 years to write The Music Man, with over 30 revisions, and he wrote about over 40 songs. Most of them he trashed. He threw them away. He just thought they weren't good enough. So here is highlights from The Music Man. I have to say, I really appreciate the hoots and the hollers coming from upstairs there after the songs. Keep that up. We really like that. As I said earlier, Siegfried Rundel, he was a German composer who really believed in town bands and the playability of music. Wouldn't be remiss saying he loved his waltzes too. So here is one called Schunkel Parade. Siegfried Rundle passed away in 2009, but his son Stefan has taken over his publishing company and actually the writing duties too, and writes very much in the same style as his father did. So here's by Stefan Rundle. This is called Mein Glückstern.
Good evening. I'm Dan Grebner. Welcome. Thanks for coming this evening. I'm going to tell you just a few things about the history of the New Ulm Municipal Band. Okay, is that a little better? I'd like to tell you a little bit about the history of the New Ulm Municipal Band. As Don mentioned, this is our 80th year, and next March will be the 80th anniversary of the first rehearsal of the Municipal Band. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story about two of the pieces that we're playing this evening, pieces that were written by John Philip Sousa. The first was the Thunderer that Don introduced a little earlier. And towards the end of the program, as we always do, we'll be playing the Stars and Stripes Forever. John Philip Sousa was known as the March King. He was born in 1854, died in 1932. At an early age, he was apprenticed. He was enlisted by his father into the United States Marine Band, and at the age of 21 left the band. But several years later, he returned to the United States Marine Band as the conductor of the band. During World War I, he'd been in civilian life, and he went into the United States Navy Reserve during World War I. Most of his life, he led and conducted the civilian Sousa Band and composed over 130 marches. On November 20th, 1907, at Turner Hall, John Philip Sousa and his band appeared and performed a concert. John Philip Sousa also created an award and a foundation. And today, since 1955, there's a very prestigious music award that's given as the John Philip Sousa Award. Now, the New Ulm Municipal Band has had students as part of the band since its beginning in 1946. And we believe that the students make a real strong contribution to our band. In the band today, there are 5 students and graduates of New Ulm High Schools who are recipients of the John Philip Sousa Award. And I'm going to name them and ask them to stand for your acknowledgement. This year at New Ulm High School, Britton Barron was given the John Philip Sousa Award. At Cathedral High School, Reagan Kruger was given the award. At Cathedral High School, there was a tie, and another member of the band who couldn't be here tonight is Alyssa Reese, and she was given the award as well. Here tonight is Mitchell Schatzko, who received the award at New Ulm High School 2 years ago. Give us a wave, Joey. He's in the back row as a percussionist. Minnesota Valley Lutheran High School also gave an award to a student this year, the student who lives in Mankato. The Stars and Stripes Forever, which is one of the pieces that we play at the end of every concert, is probably the most popular march in the United States. In 1987, the United States Congress named it the National March of the United States of America. It's a lot of fun for us to play it, and it's always fun for the crowd as well. Now, we have the opportunity, given that we're going to be 80 years old next year, to preserve a piece of New Ulm's history in a history book. We're writing that book presently, and we anticipate having it for sale or having it available for distribution in March of 2026. We're asking people who are interested to purchase a copy of the book today for us to give it to you when we have it printed. It's a fundraiser that we can do to help us prepare that book. Up near the top of the amphitheater is Laura Schatzko, who can take your orders when the concert is finished. Thank you.
So you can see we are preserving New Ulm's history and the municipal band's history by putting forth that book. So if you feel the need to, please purchase the book for delivery next year, and you'll be hearing more and more about it as our season goes along. Our next number is called The Entertainer. It was written for piano in 1902, and it's one of the classics of ragtime. And it returned to the top in international prominence as part of the ragtime revival in the 1970s. And it's also the Recording Industries Association ranked at number 10 of its Songs of the Century list. So here is The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. Phantom of the Opera is a 1911 novel by Gaston Leroux. It was made into a musical in 1976 with the book and lyrics by Ken Hill, and it's the first musical adaptation of the novel about the disfigured phantom and his obsession with the naive singer Christine. It debuted on Broadway in 1976, had many reviews and revisions, and so here is highlights from the Phantom of the Opera. Henry Fillmore lived from 1881 until 1956. And in that time, he wrote many, many pieces of music. And he used also many pseudonym names because he thought if he wrote so much music with just his name on the title, people would get turned off by the music. So this is one of them. He used many different names. This one he used was called Harold Bennett, although that person didn't exist, but he used that name anyway. Fillmore was a prolific composer and arranger. He was a beloved band leader. He formed the Fillmore Band in Cincinnati, Ohio in the 1930s, and is one of the last great professional bands of its kind. So here's a number that he wrote, and it's called Military Escort. Alte Kameraden, or Old Comrades, is the title of a popular German military march. It was composed in 1889 by Colonel Karl Teike in Ulm, and his superior officer told him, says, "We have enough of marches, throw this one away." Well, obviously he didn't. It becomes one of the most classic and most popular and most played German military marches. So here is Old Comrades. Well, we come to the end of our concert. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again next week. We'll be right back here at 7 o'clock. Please join us. We are honored that you're here. Please bring a friend. Please bring a friend. John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. The debut performance was on May 14th, 1897. The audience was so delighted that Sousa repeated the piece 3 times, and the work received rave reviews. Today, the Stars and Stripes Forever maintains its worldwide popularity and is performed publicly by the United States Marine Band at least 100 times annually. And the march is programmed on every concert tour by the band. So here is John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. Again, thank you for joining us. We have one more for you. If you so choose, please join us in singing God Bless America.